Hey Greg, it's Dusty over here at German Auto. I just want to go over a couple things with you on your car. Went and drove it. One thing I did notice when I first started up is it had a small vibration from underneath, as well as a check engine light, and obviously you saw that washer fluid level. But I wanted to go over everything individually. I scanned the vehicle, and it's going to be hard for it to focus. But this is basically the engine control unit, and it's got a couple codes in there for the O2 sensors, these two bottom ones, and this one is actually for the EGR valve system. This top one could be something to do with the vacuum supply to it. Sometimes the hoses deteriorate over time. These two usually for the O2 sensors are just the fact that the O2 sensors go bad over a certain period of time. This car's got 176,000 miles on it, so that could be it. But all three of these are causing the check engine light to be triggered. As far as what I noticed on the vibration when you start it up, that's coming from, you can see that fluid right there. It's like an orangish fluid coming down the side of the block. You can kind of see it right there. Well, this right here, up in this area, that is the engine mount, and what happens is they're filled with hydraulic fluid, and when they get collapsed over time and weak, ruptures the insides and they kind of splatter everywhere. So it's supposed to kind of absorb some of that vibration, and that's kind of what you're feeling at when you first start it up, and when you let it idle, feels like you're feeling the motor more so than you should. That's for that. I did notice that the steering wheel was off, and that's probably why you wanted to recommend an alignment. The suspension looks pretty good outside of the lower control arm bushings. It's hard for me to kind of show you inside of there, but they got some cracks, and it looks like there's hydraulic fluid in this thing as well. It looks some of that has leaked out of there. So if you wanted to, we could probably take care of that to make sure your alignment's all squared away and tip-top. We look like we got brand new tires on this thing, so we want to make sure we keep these things lasting a long time. You can also see this is oil right here. It's coming from the driver's side valve cover. This is the bottom of the AC compressor where it's leaking down onto. So that is one oil leak we did notice. The transmission, it's sweating a little bit. There's nothing as far as dripping is concerned just yet, but it is going to develop into something a little bit bigger. Brake noise, I heard a squeal. Brakes in the front are about 35%, so you got a little bit of life on there, and the rears are about 25%. One thing I did want to mention to you before we start on the service work, when they get higher in mileage, as this one is, it's not, obviously this thing has got a long way to go, but these are the coil packs, and if you can kind of see, it's got oil that's slowly been seeping out and collecting with dirt, and as well as onto the wires. What we've noticed in the past is these things, because they're right next to the exhaust, when you pull those things apart to do the spark plugs, it tends to break the insides of it, is the best way to explain it. Can cause the car to run rough after the spark plug replacement, so we recommend doing the wires at the same time. The only thing is you can kind of see all the seeping. This also can damage the new wires if the oil leak gets bad enough where it soaks into the wires, or it's kind of doing it at this point. You can't see it because the air box is in the way. And the oil cap's kind of broken right there. Car drives really well. Just these things that we saw, they're just minor. For the most part, I think you've been keeping up on all your maintenance, so which is a good thing. But I hope this kind of helps you kind of know where you're at on as far as your vehicle level, as far as service and recommendations and all that stuff. So, all right, Greg. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, and hope this helps.